So here's what we want for our dearly beloved patch notes. I want clarity. I would like to have some outliers adjusted. I am not expecting any major tweaks or work done because it is a fun game. You don't want to take the fun out of it. Just go crazy with it. It's fine. I imagine something's going to happen to, we know Hawkeye and Hela. I mean, not a huge surprise for me. I would be surprised if they didn't tweak a couple of tanks, but I would be surprised if they nerf tank too much, because I think they do want people playing tank. We'll have to kind of wait and see. So no spoilers here. Let's just kind of go through. I want specific and clarity with what they're doing, and we'll talk about what I think each character could need, just maybe some spitball, some ideas. Composition centered around double shields and range have displayed considerable prowess. Despite this, players have continuously honed and experimented with new compositions and strategies, further enriching the battlefield. For example, a potent combination featuring Psylocke and Star-Lord has brought unparalleled map control through high mobility for middle and mid-range damage. I mean, that is true. Like, that's actually kind of, you know, I don't like the kind of like nonsense, just like talking for the sake of talking, but yeah, Psylocke, Star-Lord, really good. A lot of verticality versus flat, good ults. That's true. While pairings like Namor and Winter Soldier emphasize defensive counterattacks, yep. Fortifying the rear lines and seizing opportunities for combat advantage. I wish they'd stop saying stuff like this, but you know, that's whatever. I know you. I've been a hater with this. You guys have heard it to me. It's like just tell me what it is, man. Whether formations revolving around Hulk's might or Adam Warlock's team up abilities, or a selection of heroes tailored for specific scenarios, it became clear that players are delving deeper into the world of Marvel Rivals. True. Hints in the first half of season 1 were set making balanced adjustments to certain heroes, enabling a broader roster to partake in more intricate gameplay, ensuring a richer, more engaging, and diverse game experience for all. Shut up. At the same time, regarding season bonuses and team ups, we'd like to clarify that given the brief duration of season 0. We will not make extensive changes or adjust team up abilities in season 1. I didn't know they were going to do that. I think that's really good. I think I was a team up hater because it was so different from Overwatch, but I think that was one of those things that going from Overwatch into Marvel Rivals, I had to adjust my expectations to the game being a lot more silly and also a lot more like, hey, we're going to work together and do this. I think it's a unique take, and I think that they should leave them. And I like the decision to keep them as is so that people get a little more confident, more comfortable with them, because it is a new thing for a lot of people, I think, myself included. Jarvis, write the patch notes for me. Dude, there's so many Jarvis jokes in Ranked, dude. I was dying the other day. We will make minor adjustments. Fear not, for we are planning exciting redesigns and adjustments to team abilities in season 2. Nice. Yeah. Detailed introduction to balance adjustments the first time season 1. Suit up rivals and prepare to ignite the battle. Adjustments. Vanguard. Okay, Captain America. Here's what I'm not going to do predictions because I don't think that's a good one. Captain America, I think cooldown adjustments. Reduction of his cooldowns. I think for a character that has so many cooldowns, I still find myself, especially when I don't have a team up with Thor, kind of like hovering around, not really being able to do anything. I like the hybrid of like frontline versus backline diver. I think his ult's mostly okay. I think maybe we'll see some damage numbers here, but I would like cooldown adjustments here. Let's see here. Steve will receive some enhanced survivability. Interesting. I think his survivability is okay, allowing more frequent entering and exiting of combat. Maybe that's something that, like, maybe his uptime struggles be... I don't know. Okay. Reduce the delay time for shield restoration after restoring Living Legend from 3 seconds. After releasing Living Legend. What is Living Legend? What is Living Legend? Do I have to do this again? Oh. So basically you can re-shield sooner. Yeah. I know people were asking for 0-second cooldown. Living Legend. Who the frick? But it has a reflect, even if it is a bit random. So I think having it more consistently be available is good. I think this is a good change. Oh, it regenerates quicker. Oh, then yeah, you're right. Shield restoration. I see. Okay. So yeah, it's 1 second. Okay. I haven't played enough Captain America. All right, sure, fine. So you get more shield more often. Okay, I don't feel like a lack of shield with Captain America was a huge problem, but I don't play enough to know. So I will refrain from comment. Reduce Liberty Rush cooldown from 12 seconds to 10 seconds. That's the dash, right? Is that the dash? Liberty Rush. Good. Yeah, his F. Yes, good. Increase base health from 650 to 675. Yeah, sure. All right. Reduce the energy cost of releasing Freedom Charge, ultimate ability, so it gets his ult faster. Reduce the health provided, but they nerfed the health a little bit. Okay, so this is fine. I really like the Liberty Rush, because that's the first cooldown that actually really comes to mind to me, is the Liberty Rush, in terms of like the longer cooldown, right? I think it is the longest of his cooldowns. I know the Slam is 12 seconds too. That's tough. I would like that to be reduced to 10 seconds as well. I know it's effective. Gondal thing for the sub, but that is going to help a little bit. I would have honestly preferred that to go from 12 to 10 than having the shield restoration, to be honest with you guys. That's my thoughts, but not bad. The shield throw, yeah, definitely does the most, but I think it has the lowest cooldown, no? Yeah, 8 seconds, but maybe you're right. Maybe it could be reduced more. Yeah, 1v12 and 1v10 is a bit awkward, right? For sure. Okay, yeah, it's all right. It's not as much as I'd like, but I do like that a cooldown was reduced. I mean, that's okay. We take it. Doctor Strange has to, what would I do to Doctor Strange? Okay. I don't know if it's like a necessary evil. Well, it depends on the rest of the changes. Changes to Hela, changes to Hawkeye, and so on. Because it feels like Strange just has infinite shield. Infinite shield. I think his damage is really high. I think his mitigation is really high. So I assume, I mean, you could really go anywhere with Doctor Strange. I don't know. It has to be like, I feel like, is it his poke damage that I want to go down? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Feels like it just has infinite shield. Reducing the threat range and increasing the defense wind of the Sorcerer Supreme. Add damage fall off to Maelstrom of Madness and Gamma Maelstrom. Okay. Add damage fall off to Maelstrom of Madness. So is E. So I guess a harsher fall off on his E. And Gamma Maelstrom. That's the team up one. Starting at 5 meters, reducing the 70% enemy meters. Okay, so it's harder to one-shot people that aren't point blank range. Slightly decrease the shield value recovery rate of releasing from 80 seconds to 70 per second. Okay, sure. I mean, again, you have to be really careful about what you do with tanks, I think, because you need people playing tank. Yeah, it's fine. He didn't have any fall off before. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Yeah. So okay, it is a bit of a slap on the wrist, but you know, I think this is. I mean, you're gonna get fewer one-shot combos with this, right? Ben Thrifty, thank you for the sub. Congrats on the 6 months. When do these go live? I have no freaking idea. Chat, does anyone know? It's soon, right? Tomorrow? Okay. Thor. Bro, I don't even know what they're going to do with Thor. I have so many conflicting thoughts with Thor. I haven't played enough of Thor to really have a firm opinion on Thor. I still think the shared cooldown is dumb. People are like, well, it introduces complexity. And I'm like, bro, it just like the whole fact that it costs resources, the punishment. You don't need more opportunity costs. Like, do this and then do that. And then it just, I understand that people are saying that like, it's not all, doesn't all revolve around Awakening Rune. I was wrong about that, you know, but I just don't like the global cooldown thing at all. It just seems like you're not able to fluidly flow with this character as much as you'd like to. And I think it's a missed opportunity. People keep saying, oh, because the thing is how I watch high level Thor and it just doesn't look fluid. It just doesn't look fluid. I can't change. I'm trying to, it just doesn't change my mind, man. I have no expectation of what they'll do with Thor. It might have something to do with sustain. He's losing HP from the seasonal buff, right? So maybe they'll give him some HP. Maybe they'll buff his ultimate. Maybe they'll give him some sort of sustain. I would be a little bit surprised. Hey, Gecko. Rivals is fine. I'm enjoying it. But I'd be surprised if they did what I asked here, to be honest. I'm not expecting it. Increases base health by 25. Adds immunity to crowd control effects during his ultimate. Allow me to make a noise. Cheers, Camo. I appreciate you filling the form, mate. Thank you. No one is losing their seasonal buffs. Got it. Okay. Okay, got it. Okay, so he just gets 25 HP and immunity to crowd control effects. Boring. I mean, I guess he probably needs the immunity because he is really easy to CC because he's just like, hey, everybody! Right? There's like a really long window of vulnerability. And unlike who am I thinking of? Star-Lord, he doesn't really play far away. He has to kind of get close to you. So I get it. I think the ult buff is probably necessary, but, you know, I just would have liked so much more here. Gameplay loop is just not really being fixed here, so. To me, it's not even like, stop overwatching Thor. It's just boring. Like, it's not, I'm not even saying like, oh, it's unbalanced. It's just boring. It's just boring. Like, you can't, I just don't think Marvel Rivals can afford to have boring heroes. But I know some people are like, yeah, it's fun, but pick rate doesn't lie, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I'm saying. And this is with also popular character, bro. It's freaking Hulk or Thor, you know? Like, I don't know. Whatever. Hulk. I don't want to look at Hulk. Hulk, maybe team up with Iron Man has changed or nerfed a little bit. I think Hulk's honestly fine. High skill character feels like. I mean, I still have a problem with the way the jump is going to be executed, but there's no way they're going to change that. That one feels like more like shooting the moon. But it's just going to be the same. So, yeah, I have no idea what they're going to do with Hulk. Team up changes at the end. Okay, got it. They just nerfed his shield. Okay. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Like this, I don't. Yeah, maybe. I don't care if Hulk has a high pick rate, bro. Like, I feel like when I die or play versus a Hulk minus the team up with Iron Man, I feel like it's earned. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't agree with this. I know it sounds crazy, but feels like just as much of a slap on the wrist as Doctor Strange, but I don't think they're comparable. I think Hulk is worse. Hulk is also feels a little bit, and also Hulk is more for the team up than anything else. Yeah. Not a great start here, for my opinion, limited opinion here. Like, I'm much less confident giving opinion on this stuff than I would with Overwatch. Venom, bro, I don't know what you do with Venom. Venom is so cheeks. He's so easy to play. There's just no skill ceiling at all. I hope that whatever they give to him, I don't know, seriously, what would you do to Venom? Like, it almost feels like you need to rework his whole, like, damage cooldown, you know? Because it doesn't do jack all. I wouldn't nerf anything for Hulk, bro. I would nerf the team up. I wouldn't nerf anything, to be honest with you. I actually don't think I would nerf anything for Hulk. With increased survivability and threat of his ultimate ability, the symbiotic menace will strike fear into the backlines of all enemy teams. Increase the symbiotic resilient bonus health ratio gain per lost health from 1 to 1.2. He's just infinite HP now. Okay. Because that... And increase the base damage of Feast of the Abyss. That's good. Wait. How does that work? How does Feast of the Abyss work? I forget. I played a bit of Venom and I've forgotten. It's been a while. Inflict damage equal to 50% of the target's health, followed by an additional 50 damage. And it used to be 40, so now it's 10 more damage. Whoopee! There's an unlisted Venom buff. All right, leak the sauce. But yeah, feeding more ult charge is definitely a choice. Okay, just more HP, sure. Hey, Saber. 10 more 8 damage. Maybe there's the break point there or something. The slow is 10% stronger on right click? As in is that the AoE thing? Interesting. What, was it 5% slow? I don't know. Pretty sure people are placeboing that increase slow. I believe it. Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, I don't care what people say. I don't care what people say. Okay. Again, the developers have their work cut out for them with Venom. He just feels like he doesn't really do a whole lot. Pretty skillless character, so, and doesn't do a whole lot as a result. So, Duelist, Black Panther, Buggy, fix Buggy on Black Panther, and we're cooking. I initially had a lot of problems with Black Panther's. Okay, so hear me out. Black Panther has immense potential. But it maybe... Okay, are there any really high-level Black Panther players in chat? Are there any high-level Black Panthers in chat? GM+. Here's my thoughts. Am I crazy for thinking that Black Panther has immense potential, but it feels like you kind of have to do the same cooldown loop over and over again? It feels like you kind of have to go like A, C, A, B, A, you know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of the same loop. And that's not to mention, yeah, the clipping and the dash bugs, yeah. Maybe it's just me, but it felt like a lot of like you kind of go for the same gameplay loop, whether it's a single target duel or an AoE thing. I think that's my main nitpick. I don't know how you solve that initially though, but I would love if you could do like, I think the comparison with me is like the use of Genji cooldowns, like how he has fewer cooldowns, but there is a lot more choice with like what layering of your cooldowns you use. Whereas with Black Panther, you kind of pretty much just have a copy and paste combo that you use most of the time. What's the new combo, Mills? Okay, don't say anything. Never mind. All right, so maybe that inspires excitement. That inspires excitement. If they've done something that maybe can change up or introduce more choice to the combo, that would be huge. We're slightly increasing T'Challa's combat survivability, reduce the additional health provided to self for refreshing vibranium marks of the spirit rune from 40 to 30. Oh. So what's this combo? What's this combo, Mills? What do you got? So he has less self-heal. Spear, dash kills. But that's not a new combo, no? Okay. So it's some animation cancel thing. Because it was like spear, dash, spear, kick, spin, and then get out. Or I don't even remember. It's been a while. I one-tricked him for a while, and it really was really... You give up reset to have a more lethal combo. Gotcha. Okay, well, I like Black Panther a lot, but Again, it feels kind of like a Thor thing where it's like, man, I wish they could just like make it flow better, you know? But I don't know. Yeah, I got you. Recently found. Is intentionally not dashing all your marks, then chaining off the crowd? Yeah. Oh, well. What would they buff on Black Widow? I honestly don't even know Black Widow's kit. There's like the melee stuff with like the grapple and kick, and she instantly charges. They can't make her a one-shot. They'll never do that for optics, surely. I actually have no idea what they do with Black Widow. Natasha was very much in need of optimization when evaluating the release experience of her abilities, as well as a slightly increase to the threat of her ultimate ability. Increase the range of the first effect of Edge Dancer from a 3-minute radius to 5-minute radius. What is Edge Dancer? So basically more reach on her grapple kick thing. Reduce the time required for Fleet Foot to card from 0 seconds from 12 seconds to 4 seconds. What does this mean? What does stamina mean? I have no idea what that means. She sprints on a resource meter. What? She does? Oh. Okay. All right. That's cool. Some more repositioning stuff. That's good. Reduce the time required for electroplasm. Oh my gosh. To reach maximum power from 1 second to 0.6 seconds. I mean, these seem okay. Like you know, it's a sniper. You know, it's still a sniper. But yeah, these are okay. Maybe repositioning sniper means you have to deal with the consequences of her one-shot more. I mean, let's be honest, guys. Like, everybody that said, oh, Widowmaker was broken because of grapple. I mean, yeah, it's not a one-shot, but, you know, she's going to reposition a lot. You know, she's going to reposition a lot. She's going to be able to defend herself better now. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, the thing is, Aerithal, she'll never get that 10% damage boost. She never will. I would be shocked if she ever got it. So, we'll see. But it does raise questions of why have a hard sniper character that is a tickle away from being a one-shot anyway? You know, what's the point of even having the character? You know, there's a character like Ashe who has a sniper rifle, or Ana that has a sniper rifle that feels satisfying, but isn't a one-shot and never doesn't even come close to it, right? But Black Widow just feels like they're just toying, they're just circling the, you know, it's like, what's the point, man? What, you know, like, why are you playing with death there? You know, if you're going to do anything with the whole Natasha sniper rifle, just commit to the Ashe thing, you know? Make it like 190 damage, 180 damage. It's still a lot of damage, but, and then, you know, you have a lot more flexibility to move around with, you know? They wanted to be like not actually have an actual sniper, and yet she's 10 damage away from a one-shot, you know? So it's like, you chose that damage metric. So, oh well. It is what it is. Hawkeye, I mean, these are fine. Hawkeye, it has to be the amount of damage from a one. I think they'll actually keep the one shot. I think they'll keep the one shot, but I think that it does too much damage to tanks. And I think that's part of one of the little reasons that prevents some of the more off-meta tanks from doing well, because you just get burned. So I would be surprised if we don't see Hawkeye. I'm curious to see how, chat, I have not played versus enough Hawkeye because he gets banned every game. Is his ult not like really freaking strong? Like really freaking strong? Like can kill through support ult strong, right? It's not? It's bad. Okay, leak the sauce, guys. Leak the sauce. Do people just instantly hide? Like I've played like one game of Hawkeye, so you guys gotta tell me. Wait. Oh! If you get to cover, it will disappear? Wait, really? And you can't headshot the after images. Sorry for the chewing ASMR. I didn't know that. Well, that is a big deal. I mean, it makes sense, I guess. But yeah, never mind. Okay, never mind. So ult shouldn't get touched. That makes sense. Go behind Strange Shield. Wow. Okay, yeah, that is cheeks then. Never mind. Disregard. So it just, I mean, so then is it me, chat? Or is it literally just the damage on tanks? Like, I think that's it. Like, there's no way they remove the one shot. No way. Feels like a Hanzo situation where if you remove the one shot, the character just is instantly worse. What do they got? Medium long range damage can reduce the threat and combo, slightly improve the combo. Slightly reduce the spread angle between every two blasting. Oh, I totally forgot about blast arrows, bro. Those things are cheeks. That's good. That's really good. Reduces the triggering distance of passive ability. Archer. Okay, so you can't trigger Archer's focus from too far away. It has to be within 40 meters. Reduce the maximum additional damage to the passive from 80 to 70. What is that in terms of breakpoints? That has to be, because that feels so mediocre. It must be an important breakpoint. Where is he? Why am I blind? 160. Well, yeah, I know he's still one-shots. There's no way they're taking that away. Is there a breakpoint then? Is it just 350 to 340? Feels like I'm surprised I didn't go a little more harsh, like to 60 or something or 50. Seasonal buff nerf too. Ah, okay. Got it. All right. Yeah, I mean, this is fair. I like the blast arrow buff. I think the distance buff is also really good. Because let's be honest, like when you're firing down that far, like even if with the passive, it feels a bit random. And the big thing is, I guess, seasonal buff plus 10 fewer damage. The one shot wasn't necessarily, it was a problem with Hawkeye, but it's not a problem that will ever be fixed, I don't think. I don't think they're ever going to take it away. He just did too much damage to tanks at the same time. So yeah, seems pretty fair. I mean, he's still going to be banned like every game because people hate one-shot characters, but like, at least there are some more minor downsides to him, you know? So it seems fair. Like, I think it kind of feels like a Black Widow thing where like, you know, you made one-shot characters basically, so you know you're gonna make your bed and lie with them. But the actual patch notes themselves seem okay. Thoughts on new characters? Go back on Tuesday. I looked over them. From what I haven't seen enough gameplay. I don't want to. Honestly, guys, I don't have time to like watch all the streamers play all the games. I didn't have early access or anything. But seem okay. Hela nerfed. Okay, base health reduced. She gets the seasonal buff. No. I honestly get really confused with the seasonal buff versus the team up nerf. But how much damage does she get nerfed from? Hello. 5%, 140. So she'll drop to like 67 damage or 66 damage or something like that. Okay, cool. That's a big deal. I mean, that's a huge breakpoint. Aerithal says no. Made a great summary of the 2-1 wins? Okay, good to know. Oh, 70 plus 15%. Ah, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, if the breakpoints change and she loses 25 HP, that makes actual sense. It just doesn't make sense for a sniper character to have 275 HP. Like, I'm okay with her mobility. I'm okay with her having options versus dive characters, but it just feels like, yeah. Yeah, I agree with you, Saber. Same. I mean, as much as I've complained about the website, this is really nice. This looks good. This feels really fluid. I mean, it's very clear, very structured. Looks good. All right, Magic. I mean, according to win rates, she's doing really well, even in lower ranks. What would you nerf with Magic? Would you nerf anything with Magic? I don't know, man. I feel like her sustain has to remain the same, no? I don't know. I honestly don't know what I changed with Magic. If I hadn't looked at the patch notes, I would not expect Magic to get any changes, so it feels like I'm gaslighting myself into thinking that she needs to change, but I don't know. I'm not as familiar with the one-shot combo. Increase Umbral Incursion damage in Dark Shell from 115. What is Umbral Incursion damage? Is that like one of her abilities in her ult? So she got buffed. Her dash. Oh yeah, the dash. Whoppa. So that gets buffed, and her ult even further. Okay. That's pretty big. Interesting. I will say her ultimate, it feels one of the weaker DPS ultimates. Because it does, it doesn't make you unkillable. And it can be counterplayed. And you can die through it through support ult. But yeah. It's like a worse version of, it's like Psylocke, but like, you know, you could die. Right? You just die, you know. Moon Knight. Blah. Moon Knight, it just feels like this flying, like, it's like Batman, but if, like, Batman was, like, some 75-year-old senior, you know, like, he just moves really slow, kind of floats around. A lot of his mobility, outside of his grapple on the floor bouncing, just feels really slow. Like, really slow. Like, you have all this mobility that doesn't actually really work outside of between fight repositioning. You know? It just feels like, right, exactly. You spam down a choke. If anybody duels you, you just cry and you die instantly. I don't think he's, like, massively underpowered or anything, and he's definitely annoying to play versus, but, like, it's just so weird to see a character that has this much mobility that just folds to anything. Yeah. So I'm curious if they do, like, I don't think you want to destroy his identity as being the cheese AFK spam character, because I don't want to, like, bring that down, but I'm curious if they did something that, like, gave him more responsiveness to his mobility, because I tried him once, and I was done. I was like, dude, this character's cheeks. Like, I basically threw an onk. I got the dopamine of, like, murdering everybody, because I was, like, gold at the time or something. And I just was like, dude, this all these buttons, it just feels so boring to use. You know what I'm saying? So I'm curious what they do. Increase the number of talents generated by hand of Khonshu ultimate ability from 10 to 14. So is that just a buff to his ult? Are we silver 4? Not even gold? Okay, well, there you go. Is it just more damage? More like thingies to go. Khonshu! Increase the explosion radius of each talent for 4 minutes. Is it just an ult buff? Yeah. Okay. I mean, sure, I guess. Ult, not so bad, but he's still so slow. Like, look at all these abilities. Flies around like I said. Honestly, every time I see Moon Knight flying around, you know what it reminds me of, Chav? Here's what it reminds me of. Here. This is what it reminds me of, chat. When I see Moon Knight flying around. Just please don't shoot me. Don't mind me. I'm just vibing around, okay? It's just so freaking. It's like, bro, this is a superhero. This is like some edgelord, and he's just on his chairmaster. It's like, bro, what is wrong with you, man? Everybody can see you, right? Like, I hope you know that. It's so slow. Oh my gosh. All right, keep going. Namor, I don't think Namor needs any changes. His ult feels pretty effective. Doesn't do a ton of damage, but the damage is pretty decent. The big thing with the Namor ult is not just the stun, but how quick the cast is, at least for me, compared to a lot of the other Brain Dead AoE ultimates. It just feels like it casts a lot faster, so you just go bam, you know? Well, what's the Spider-Man nerf? I guess remind me when we get there. I think his turrets do good damage, but they're relatively breakable. Maybe he's underperforming a little bit, but I don't know. There's like the synchronized shot, right? Okay, you know what? Okay, you know what, guys? Frick you guys. I remember when my mind always gets more and more nasally the higher and more upset I get. Okay, I remember when I was doing a review, and I was doing a review of Marvel Rivals either the first or second time, and I was criticizing Namor's design. I was like, you know, this guy has turrets and stuff, but he just kind of shoots, you know? He just shoots. He's got the invulnerable cooldown, but he just shoots, and he can't even reposition, and there's not as, like, it's not even as fun as Hela half the time. Oh, boy. Well, I got the Namor squad in my comments. Well, you just don't understand, Namor. There's actually so much complexity about managing this and that, and it's not just aiming and placing turrets. There's so much more than that. Bro, frick you guys, dude. Frick you guys. Namor is just freaking Hela on a budget, with even less choice of what you do. You know what I'm saying? I like the ultimate, honestly. I actually will say the ultimate's at least one of the more thoughtful AoE ultimates. But dude, frick you guys. I was right. Screw off. Namor is just AFK shoot stuff. I'm not saying there's no skill involved at all. Obviously there's mechanical skill and but it's like, you just shoot and you do your synchronized shot and you place your turrets in different angles and that's it. Like, you don't even get the reposition or anything. And I don't know. I'm just an old man. And Hela shouldn't exist. I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying I don't know. I'm not saying that Namor shouldn't exist or Hela shouldn't exist or whatever. I just don't find them like thoughtful or fun or interesting. They're just kind of just like you shoot stuff a lot, you know? Namor, optimizing the throat feel of Namor's eggs. Eggs? Excuse me. What eggs? Oh, his turrets. Oh. Okay, that's good. I mean, that's fine, sure. Quality of life stuff that might be like a tiny micro buff, but yeah, whatever. I didn't say that like Namor shouldn't exist or that people are not allowed to have fun playing Namor, but I was just saying that like my initial review that he just wasn't like the most, when you compare him to like literally almost the entire DPS cast, even including Hela, he just doesn't feel like all that interesting. And then I got actually'd. I'm like, all right, well, you guys are morons. Psylocke, I don't know. I don't feel like Psylocke is going to get she'll probably get a slap on the wrist nerf. I don't know what you'd even do. Would it be your one-shot combo? She feels like she has really good tank pressure. She feels like she has really good flank pressure. She has a really good ultimate, like A-tier ultimate. Maybe that's just a hot take. I know I've said it again, but it's the fact that you could force a support ultimate without dying is a big deal for DPS. What would you even nerf with Psylocke? I think stealth cooldown is fine. I like the dashes. Maybe like the explosive damage if you right click. Like I actually don't know. Simple, still fun though. Yeah, sure. We're providing more options for heroes to counter the Demon Slayer's ultimate. Oh, nice. Now Dance of the Butterfly will check for barriers. Ooh. Okay. All right. I'm gonna have, maybe I can dig up maybe I can dig up the replay code. But I had a game yesterday where Psylocke ults, I pop ult instantly. I get verticality way above the ultimate, like max range. I'm like, armed and danger, right? And immediately, she goes for somebody else. Like, you know, she kind of like aims, like she's looking for a support. She's not even 20 meters near me. She's not even looking at me. And I died to it slowly. So you're telling me that Psylocke's ult is just omnidirectional? It's not even close to being targeted? When she's not even looking. I watched in fact, I was so angry, I didn't skip the kill cam. I watched her kill cam, and she wasn't even looking at me. All right, well, frick that then. That's freaking dumb. It doesn't make any sense at all. It feels like single target, but it's not. It's like you can move it. It's just dumb. Ping a poll, thank you for the sub. It's a joke. And it was like, I was like max range, bro. I'm like, come on, I outplayed you. I can dodge Doctor Strange ultimate, but I can't dodge yours. Get the frick out of my lawn, man. It's randomized? Oh my gosh. So annoying. And she's not targetable. Like, just frick you, dude. So dumb. The Punisher. What does the Punisher need, bro? The Punisher's just dumb. The Punisher's awful. Punisher's worse. Okay, you guys ready for this one? Punisher's worse than Namor. I'm crapping on poor Namor. By the way, why does everybody crap on Namor? Is there something that I don't understand? Also, shut the frick up about the squids. All right? I don't want to hear about squids. Every single game, the entire lobby is like, squids. Oh, one of the squids, monster. Shut up! Shut up! Constant talk about squids. I understand it's like a game design thing to remind you, hey, maybe you want to break those, jackass. But it's like, shut up. Literally every game Namor's played, me, everybody in my team, literally constantly talking about squids. Over and over. It's the worst. He's a woman harasser. All right. He plays with squids. There's a joke in there somewhere. But, dude, it's just so annoying. You got or the onk. You know, one of those onks there. But at least the onk, you break it and you're done for a little bit anyway, sometimes. Another one of those onks, you know, it's like, squid, shut up. Shut up. Shut the frick up. The Punisher is boring. He's just a shooter character without any mobility or turrets. Dumb. Ult, dumb. Cooldown. It's shotgun, not fun. Grapple, clunky, goofy, stupid. Poo-poo. Punisher's the worst. Increasing the damage capability of Frank's weapons. I mean, he's kind of bad, so I get it. The calamari cretins can't hurt you. He's stupid. He's some freaking dumb edge. Guys, is Punisher a tool in the comments? Can I hate him? I heard you guys say Namor is kind of a douchebag, so I can hate him. Am I allowed to hate the Punisher? Just make fun of him, call him stupid? Okay. He is a huge tool? Well, now you give me mixed signals. All right. Well, he's just boring as cheeks. All right, you guys ready? Okay, you guys ready? Okay. All right. You guys ready for this one? Everyone makes fun of Black Widow in the Marvel MCU, whatever. Oh, what is she doing with a pistol? Bro, who the frick is Punisher? This guy's pulled straight from Call of Duty minus any sort of personality. Who is this man? He's the worst. There's nothing clever or special about him at all. No, I'm not respecting Frank. His name is Frank. That's an insurance agent's name. Moron. At least Batman has the dignity to put on a mask and throw cool things. Punisher wife and kids got murdered, so he's on a revenge arc. Well, I could have seen that one coming. Yeah, anyway. Scarlet Witch, man, I don't know what's... I don't really pay attention to Scarlet Witch, honestly, in the stats, so... I don't know. Maybe they'll do something that her ult that she doesn't get one shot out of the sky every single time. But honestly, I feel like you are sick. No, your mom is sick. Increases Chaos Control's fixed damage from 50 seconds to 60. Is that her little orb? Her little stun ball? If so, I find that to be unnecessary because the stun aspect of the kid is... Oh, that's the Dark Seal. Wait. Oh, Chaos Control is just her damage. Ha 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 ha. Wait, so does she have a seasonal buff or is she just getting more damage? Like that, this is huge. She has a seasonal buff to team up. So is this to compensate for that then? Because this is just 20% more damage again. Okay, because this is huge. Like if you had this and the seasonal buff, it would be Wanda mode. You know what I'm saying? Okay, they just normalized her damage. All right. Reduce the percentage damage per second. So I assume this is on tanks or shields. So like there's like a minimum. And now they just nerfed your damage versus tanks. Yeah. Xothian's burst projectile damage? What the frick is Bethanian? Oh, okay. Sure. Whatever. Do you have to aim that one? Okay, sure. All right. Well, there you go. Storm. Storm is cheeks. She's so incredibly slow. I feel like they're going to have to buff her movement speed or something. I don't know. Like everything about her. Her alt fire thing is cheeks. What is that alt fire thing called? Mikra's hello. Wind Blade. What is it? Bolt Rush. Cheeks. All right. They did increase her movement speed, but it's not listed. Classic. All right. Giga buffing her. The Weather Witch needs an overall increase to her damage capability. We're also optimizing the feel of her left click projectile and the release experience of her ultimate ability. Increases wind blade projectile speed. Okay, sure. So it's really, really fast now. Increases bolt rush damage from 70 to 80. Nice. So proportionately a little bit more damage. A little more than 10% there. So maybe more situations. Is like bolt rush like hit scan or something? If I remember correctly. So that's like kind of like the one thing that does differently. But then I guess you have like immediate projectiles. So again, the difference doesn't matter that much. But at least, I guess it does a little bit more damage. Maybe you can weave it. All of it moves pierced. Okay. After releasing Omega, her the bonus health provided for herself will be increased. Wait, she's... Oh yeah, will be increased from 350 to 450. Holy crap. That's actually really good. It's basically unkillable at that point. Like 450 extra HP. Can she be CC'd? Yeah, it isn't a hurricane. It's a tornado. I mean, the freaking UI is a tornado. So yeah, they really whiffed on that one, didn't they? Her ult feels decent. Yeah, I think ult is probably the strongest part of her kit, but I don't know. Is she faster? So if she's faster, that's the big one. I wish they put all the changes in here, but yeah. Well, it feels pretty good then. I think buffing all of her damage, projectile speed, big one. The ult buff is huge. If she is moving faster, undocumented, that's all huge. These are all big. And you guys are saying fall off too. That's undocumented as well. Squirrel Girl. Blech. Her ult is horrific. Okay, I think situationally her neutral is not that bad actually. There's like, especially because of how choky this game is. Like your damage isn't bad. The trap is okay. Movement is nice. It feels like her ult is just so forgettable. You know, this is a true story. I've been paying attention to how many Squirrel Girls I get in my games from gold and silver. I have seen 2 people die in the kill feed, to be fair, but 2 people die from Squirrel Girl ever. And it was ones that they both died at the same time. I think it's a 2 hat. Well, the point is I'm talking and guessing what's going to be done or what I'd like before I read. And I would like an ult buff. I don't know what else I'd like because I don't know. Like she just is just kind of not as good as the other characters, but like I don't think you'd really change a whole lot more. Adding a new effect to the unbeatable scrolls tsunami. The scroll will rush towards the nearest enemy after bouncing instead of bouncing randomly. That's good. That's good. Reduce the scroll's tsunami health. Wait, it has health? It has health. You could shoot that thing. This whole time, you could shoot it. Okay, well, it makes sense because nobody would even shoot it. But now, I guess now, there you go. I barely ever play Overwatch anymore. No, I do. We'll have an Overwatch stream on Saturday. That's the plan anyway. Well, there you go. Okay, well, you could shoot it. I'm kind of glad that they're not overreacting here. I will say this. The general impression that I'm getting here is they don't seem too concerned. Okay, this is what I'm going to praise in Marvel Rivals, all right? I think they're okay with some noob characters being kind of noob. At least that's kind of the impression. Like, we're getting, like, some minor buffs, but, like, they don't seem overly concerned if, like, noob characters are kind of bad. You get what I'm saying? And I like that. I think Overwatch needed to do that. You know what I'm saying? Overwatch had this mindset of like, well, we want every character to be viable, but are you going to put the work into like reworking them to be more skillful? Next question, please. You get what I'm saying? Like, at least that was the impression with like a lot of the characters. You know what I'm saying? Like, they wanted characters to be like competitive win rate, at least for a long time. Maybe that's gotten a little better recently. But then they're just like, well, we're not going to like, you know, change the skill to get them. And it's like, well, that's kind of a problem because otherwise everyone's just going to abuse all the easy characters because it takes the same amount of effort to get the same result. So we'll see. We'll see. I think it's too soon to say for sure this is one freaking patch. But yeah. I don't think Storm is a noob character. No, I don't think so. But maybe I'm wrong. I think certainly not as noob character as the other ones. Okay, Winter Soldier, Winter Soldier, Winter Soldier, Winter Soldier. What does Winter Soldier need? Winter Soldier needs a lower cooldown on his uppercut, please. I want a lower cooldown on my uppercut. 12 seconds is insane. It means you cannot reposition, you can't flank. You're just sitting there with a long cooldown. At 12 seconds is insane for a mobility cooldown. That isn't like that broken or anything. I have a ton of hours in this character, so I'm gonna talk with some semblance of authority. I'll hit Grandmaster. Ha ha ha. I'm the greatest of all time. I think Tainted Voltage is fine. I think Hook is probably fine as well. Honestly, dude, I'm going to be spicy with it. You guys ready for this one? I don't think Winter Soldier needs anything but a lower cooldown and shift. Maybe you could say a longer distance because you do catch it on a ledge, but that honestly feels like more of a map thing. I think that he suffers a lot from the meta being more like sniper pokey characters. But I think the character's like pretty balanced, honestly. I mean, I've definitely had like he's hard, right? But I really think just lower cooldown and shift, like lower to like 9 seconds, like instead of 12. So, if you did that and gave me a passive heal, a heal passive, so that I could actually angle without like constantly needing health packs, I think this character would be okay. Like, you're still gonna lose duels to hard flankers, but yeah. Maybe you could tweak some of the shield regeneration, but it already feels like really decent now. I don't know. I don't think he needs much. Maybe okay, here's the only argument I could say. He has one of the lower win rates that we saw out of the more higher skill characters. So it does feel a little bit like you have to put in more work than you get in some of the other characters, right? Because he is challenging, not just in terms of like mechanics, but in terms of like your positioning. Like you don't really, you have like a very hybrid positioning style. Like you can't flank flankers, you can't poke pokers, so you have to think a lot more about positioning than a lot of the other DPS characters are. But yeah, I think the lower cooldown and shift would help a little bit with that too. Reducing Bucky, decreasing his long range combat strength, increasing his survival in medium close range combat. I mean, that's a choice. I don't think it's a bad choice. I just hope that they reduce the cooldown so you can move around here. Increase the bonus health provided Bionic Hook and Trainage Voltage from 30 to 40. Sure. So they definitely seem like they want him to be more of like the tank buster, brawler, short range off angle thing. So then what would you need? You would need 25 HP. You would need more, and you need more, I guess you just want more HP and more shields and stuff. Projectile damage increase. Wow, okay. Yeah, makes sense. I don't think that changes a lot of breakpoints. Reduce the area damage from 70 to 65. So that's the spread from the initial shot. And reduce damage decay from 65% to 60%. So slightly more fall off. Increase base health. Yeah, I mean, I think these are okay. I mean, they have a vision for the character, and to be honest with you, this vision is consistent. So the spread damage means that you're still doing like decent AoE damage from behind the shots. You have a little bit more frontline presence with more temporary HP and more HP. This is okay. I still would prefer the shift cooldown, to be honest with you, but yeah, this is fine. I feel like this makes more sense. Well, it predicted this. I don't think the health prediction was that impressive. It just makes sense with what they literally just said. But now you actually feel a little bit more like you have an identity of... It feels like Cassidy, right? Like, they did this with Cassidy for years. And I know Cassidy's not the most popular character of all time. But it does feel like he... You guys remember back when Overwatch and McCree had, like... There were a lot of times, even as late as, like, 2021, I think, where my guy had, like, or 2022, like, crazy poke. Like, from, like, 25, 30 meters. Like, you could just tink people from, like, crazy, right? And I think that, like, really, like, messed with people's expectations of what the character is supposed to be. So they just kind of were like, all right, let's just give him 275 HP. Let's really crap on his fall-off range and see what happens. Yeah, so then now it actually, like, let Soldier, it let Ashe, it let Sojourn kind of function in their niche, which I think was honestly the right change, ultimately. And maybe it's the same with Winter Soldier. I still want the lower cooldown. I just hate 12-second cooldown so much. But this is consistent, and will probably feel like if you get dove by a Black Panther, if you get dove by a Magic or a Psylocke, it really does feel like a skill check. Whereas now, it feels like you're always operating at a disadvantage in those duels. Always. Even though they're technically in your ineffective range. And then the downside is that, especially for characters like Psylocke, they don't even have to duel you. They could just shoot tank and do basically just as much damage as you do. So, yeah, this is okay. This is better than I was expecting. You guys were scaring me. But, yeah. Wolverine. Man, what are they going to do with Wolverine, y'all? They said buffs, right? They got to be careful. What would you change with Wolverine? Maybe the percentage damage can pivot to where, like, he does less percentage damage and more flat damage, you know, because he just tickles squishy sometimes. Like, it's weird to me that Winter Soldier, even before this, when Wolverine goes for me, I'm like, yeah, come at me, buddy. Like, you are cooked. Even with your passive, I'm going to destroy you. It feels like most of the time, which is such a weird concept. You get what I'm saying? So, like, redistribute some of the damage to percentage base, to less percentage base, to more damage. So he doesn't just crap on tanks, but he actually has, like, you know me, guys. I'm always like, you should have choices without destroying the identity of the character. I don't know how much of that Marvel Rivals wants, but let's see. Logan will receive an increase to basic comic strength, but a slight decrease to additional survival after activating. Increased Baith health. Now Kith. I felt like his HP was already pretty high, but okay. Reduce the damage reduction ratio provided on an undying animal. So basically, you're not unkillable when you use the thing. But okay, yeah. I mean, this is kind of it's like a different topic, but same application. You get what I'm saying? So it's like he too strong with this, but too weak with this. So now we kind of find the middle ground, right? Because this is a big deal. This is not 10%. Like, this is basically a skill that does 50 damage is not going to do 60 damage. So you're basically taking 20% more damage when you're popping Undying Animal. Like, that's a big deal. You guys got to kind of keep that in your brain. This is not 10%. This is 20% damage increase. 20% damage increase. And if you compare that to the amount of HP that he has... This is not a 20% damage increase. This is less than a 20% damage increase. So the other thing about damage reduction as well, and I know this from my MMO days, is that it increases the efficacy of healing. Increases the efficacy. In other words, having less HP but more damage reduction means it's a lot better for healers to keep you up. It's a lot easier because that healing gets amplified by your armor and by your... So this is good. This is a slight nerf. I would say... It's a slight nerf to his gameplay loop, but maybe there's going to be enough downtime after Undying Animal to where it is a buff in those aspects, but you get what I'm saying? I don't know. It depends on... I don't play enough Wolverine to know how much of him relies off of that very simple tempo gameplay loop and how much he can do when he doesn't have Undying Animal. So I don't know. It's very close. Highly people said that this is bonkers. In what way? tanking a Hawkeye headshot now doesn't mean anything if he wasn't doing anything until he had Undying Animal anyway. I don't know, guys. Isn't his whole gameplay loop around Undying Animal? Like, doesn't he just get murked without it? 50 HP doesn't compensate for that. Like, if you're taking 20% more damage. So I'm saying it's close. Like, he has exactly. He has 600 HP now. Now. How do you guys think it makes him more tank focused? Because now you have less effective HP, less damage reduction during your Undying Animal cycle, which is mostly going to be used on tanks, right? Maybe I'm wrong with that. How does it make him kidnap easier? He doesn't really cycle on Undying. Okay. You have 50 extra. So do you kidnap tanks without Undying Animal? Or do you need your damage reduction to do it consistently? It's 20% less damage reduction in total. He doesn't need the cooldown. Gotcha. So it's a buff to when you go for tank capture without Undying Animal, and it is a nerf to when you don't. That's what I agree, Mills. I agree, Mills. It just makes him easier? Maybe. I think that's a very bad adjective to use, frankly. Because now it makes it so that Undying Animal doesn't give you near as much invulnerability. So you get punished if you misuse it, or if you don't like that. The guys, 50 to 40%. Again, it is a 20% damage increase on incoming damage, which is more than compensates for the 50 damage or the 50 health. So we'll see. I don't like knee-jerk reactions. You guys gotta have to understand how these numbers are calculated. The question though is how much of his cycle is reliance off of this cooldown, and I honestly don't know. Cloak and Dagger. I'm not gonna look. Man, I don't know. Cloak and Dagger probably gonna get a buff, but based off of the win rates that we saw, I actually have no idea. Maybe her base healing needs to get buffed. I don't know. I haven't played enough Cloak and Dagger. I don't know. I really don't know. Increase the healing capability as well the coverage of the ultimate. Reduce Dagger Storm cooldown. What's Dagger Storm? You think your base healing is good? Well, the devs apparently disagree. Dagger Storm. Oh, it's the bubble. Oh, that's a big buff. That's a huge buff. Wow, 12 seconds. To be fair, 15 seconds is a long time. That's a big deal. That's more for self-defense, yeah. Increase the number of dashes in Eternal Bond, ultimate ability, from 3 to 4. Wow, okay. That's a lot more coverage, too. Those are pretty significant buffs. Pretty significant buffs. One of the bigger buffs that I think we've seen so far. Did they increase the speed between swaps? That's fair. Jeff the Lane Shark. What are they going to do, chat? What are they going to do, man? A couple of ideas. I really like the fact that they added speed to the bubbles. Maybe they could increase the speed onto the bubbles. Maybe they're probably going to nerf the... I saw that they said that they would nerf the radius on the ultimate. Maybe increase the speed. I don't know. Damage seems pretty good. Like, I don't know. It feels like Jeff just doesn't have a lot of other buttons. That's the problem. So there's only so much like utility that you can. He heal, he damage, he bubble. Like, I don't know. Like, what would you do? It has to be the speed in the bubbles, though, right? Range, 10-meter sphere to 10-meter radius, 5-meter high. Okay. Increase the healing of Joe. So they just increase his healing. Right. Well, I felt like that was coming, but, you know. Oh, well. But at least it's not Overwatch staying ranked, guys. Woo! Yeah, I mean, he's seen pretty bad stats-wise. All right. Luna Snow, probably going to get a slap on the wrist nerf because she seems really, really buff to high heavens, but is not performing as well as Mantis. I would say they have to nerf her ultimate duration, right? They probably should nerf they have to nerf the bug, or at least what I'm told is a bug about the spamming the ult thing, and you get both. At least that's the word on the street. I don't know. Beyond that, it feels like it just revolves around her ult more than anything else. Luna Snow. Yeah, well, I've enjoyed her dropping the base. We've enjoyed some prevent players from abuse. Yeah, there you go. But they actually did nerf the duration. They didn't nerf the duration. It is 11 seconds of complete inactivity. No. There's no way. 12 seconds. Bro, it's not even like imbalance from like the character wins everything. We've already seen that she's like good, but she's not like great. It's just anti-fun. The very essence of anti-fun. That is insane. That's not even sustained. That's just like nothing dies. Why? I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Like, there's a certain extent where like the game is silly and the game is fun, but this is fun for nobody. You know, you look at a lot of these team ups like Jeff the Shark, even the old. It's silly, it's annoying, but it's fun. You know, it's fun. Let them have their fun. This isn't fun. This isn't fun unless you just like seeing Luna so, you know, jive for 12 seconds, you know? It's so boring, man. I don't understand. I really don't get it. I don't know a single person that enjoys Luna Snow in that aspect. I know there's people out there, of course. There's always people love anything. People love, you know, freaking Taylor Swift, but like I don't get it. Like I don't. Of all the things that you could do with Luna Snow, to leave her ult as it is, that's crazy. I don't get it, man. Well, at least they got the bug fixed, or I don't even know if it was a bug, but the abuse or whatever. Mantis. Mantis has to receive nerfs. What would Mantis be nerfed on? Resource management, maybe? Maybe they make resource management relevant? I don't know. I don't know what I'm expecting here. Don't bad talk Swifties. I don't give a frick. We're making Mantis a bit less fleet-footed, reducing her roaming support capability. Oh no! That's fun. That's fun. Like your supports need mobility, especially if they're flat. They can't go up, so they need to go sideways quickly. No. It's what's fun. No. Why? It's the most... You're kidding me, man. Oh, man, this just gets worse and worse. Such a bummer, man. I don't know. At some of these changes, you know, we've definitely admitted a little bit of ignorance, and you know they have a vision for the game with some of these characters, and they want things to be crazier and sillier and different, and they have an identity with stuff. You know, even some of the sustain stuff, like the Jeff, the Seal script. I mean, he's bad. I get it. They like the sustain. Okay, but this is just anti-fun, man. Like you're taking away the fun part of Mantis, which is repositioning and moving and stuff. Like, I get that there's a balance, but I don't know. It's not a big deal. It's not going to kill Mantis, but it's the classic Overwatch thing where it's more the spirit of the change that bothers me. You know? It's the spirit of the change. Do you really think this is going to completely trash or adjust our win rates? Do you really think that this is the problem if you're trying to make the hero more balanced? Do you really think that's the issue here? Do you really think Mantis taking angles and flanks a half a second faster is the big deal? Do you really think that's the case? especially with how heal body she already is right now. You could argue that her ability to avoid dives and stuff is a reflection of this. But if that's the case, wouldn't you want to address some other aspects that are a little bit less skillful and less satisfying? It's fun. Right, exactly. It's I don't get it, man. I don't get it. It goes to show, guys, as much as we make fun of the Overwatch devs, this stuff, like, it's a whiff. It's a total whiff. It's one of the things it's a bad balance because it's not fun. It's not fun. Whoosh. Strike 3. Again, the spirit of the change. It's not going to trash Mantis, make her unplayable. It's just not going to feel as good. Just not. There's no reason to make Mantis feel bad when you have literally so many other things you could do with the character. Her duelist aspects, her damage boost, quantity, quality, her healing output, her resource management, which honestly feels almost irrelevant at times, the sleep hitbox. I mean, there's just so many things you could do. Yeah, like the Doom Slam cooldown increase. All right. Well, overreaction, freaking out aside, we keep going. I don't know if I agree with you, Biotech. I think Overwatch has a more like disciplined and competitive balance philosophy, but I think Overwatch has definitely had their share of. I think the balance team for Overwatch is the weakest thing that Overwatch has had, honestly, in the last year. Now that's relative because I think they do a lot of the other things really well, but I actually think the Overwatch balance team has been. I think it's the lack of vision of like where they want a lot of characters to be. I talked about this not too long ago. It's not that like all the balance patches are bad, like a lot of them are good, but some of them are just like so like out of left field. Like what's the vision? What's the purpose? And like that to me is like, I think that's where Overwatch has been the worst. But yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know. I wouldn't say that this is, this feels like relatively conservative patch notes, which is like fine. And a lot of them have been okay. But yeah, okay. Rocket Raccoon. What would you buff with Rocket Raccoon? Maybe spread damage? Like, I feel like you can't do any damage with this character, man. Like, I tried playing him. I don't know if it's the spread or the fall off or what, but you just don't do any damage. Like, you just heal by it. Increase the healing of, oh man. Oh, dude, come on. There's no way. All right, guys. All right. Okay. All right. You want another I told you so moment? Call me Flats Jr., all right? I freaking said all the supports are like sustain bots. You know, it seems like a very dedicated balance decision to make healing primary, and like you can call that choice whatever you like. And you were like, nah, like you got to make a lot of choices and it's, you know, dynamic. Shut the frick up! Shut up! Shut up! This is what they want. I don't want it. Maybe this is what the average player wants, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the thing. This is where, like, unironically, like, mask off here, right? Maybe we're wrong, guys. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe people don't like doing damage. Maybe people just like, the people that play support just like healing. I don't know. I legit don't know. I don't think so, but I don't know. What do I know, right? But I'm sad. Like, come on. Like, you can't do damage with this guy. It feels so hard. Why do I have a Rocket Raccoon accent all of a sudden? You know, like, No. Like we were doing so well. It just, well, this is what we got, guys. This is what strategist, not healer, not support. That's going to be the new ML7 thing. By the way, I came up with that first. That's actually not a joke. I'm not mad. It's a joke. Okay. We're moving on. They're not calling it healer. It's strategist. What do? You heal. Wait. There's a Simpsons thing. What is it, chat? What is it? There's a joke. What is the joke? We don't call it healer here. We call it strategist. Well, what do? You heal. What is that? Frick. What is it? I've seen that somewhere. We're a strategist. What's the strategy? The heal. SpongeBob, maybe? I don't know. I can't remember. I've seen that somewhere. But yeah. Bummer, man. Bummer. I like it as a Punisher main that I can fill heal bot like Raccoon and do more. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Team up abilities. Let's take a look at these. These should be fun. I'm more excited about these. I think these are where where Marvel Rivals shines because it's just really fun and really silly and so on. Team up. To further tone down Hawkeye's suppression, we'll be reducing his seasonal buff. Okay, so a little bit of a Hawkeye nerf. Hela, Thor, Loki. Again, a little bit of a damage nerf there. Yeah, Ethereal. The whole anti-heal thing, I like anti-heal as a concept. Okay, I don't know if I love anti-heal as a concept. Let me paraphrase. I like anti-nade in Overwatch as an application because it feels satisfying and skillful and fun, and there's choice and there's risk and reward for it. Now, a lot of the newer tanks, or even the older tanks like Roadhog and Malga, and they have no answer to anti-nade because they're gummy designs. But as an Ana player, anti-nade is a lot of fun and very skillful to use. So I like it as an Ana. But the question is should it be a necessary evil? And I think the answer is no. You shouldn't rely off of an anti-nade to deal with broken sustain. I think that's backwards logic. I don't know if you're asking that question because I'm sure you agree. It feels like if you have to introduce even honestly the DPS passive, I think it's different with Overwatch a little bit because I think the concept is that focus fire should be rewarded, which I understand. But certainly in Marvel Rivals, if we were to need an anti-heal in this game, something's messed up. I think it should be more like you do damage, you heal. If you heal better than we do damage, that's it. We shouldn't have an I win button right there, and then you need to cleanse. And it's well, now you've created this whole cycle of needs and needs and needs and needs. And sometimes it's fun. Sometimes there's counterplay involved. And sometimes it's just not all that interesting counterplay, So yeah, I don't know. Okay, let's keep going here. Namor. We're increasing the threat of Namor's frozen spawn. So more, I don't know what the original frozen spawn damage was, but they're increasing the buff, increasing the slowing effect. That's a big deal, guys. Namor already got a little bit of micro buffs. Luna Snow didn't get any super, well, maybe the nerf to her ult is a relevant nerf. It probably is. But Namor's getting some buffs. What are his frozen? What is his spawn without the Luna Snows team up? Is what I'm saying. But yeah, Luna Snow, Namor, Mantis is going to be brutal to dive into. Also, Spider-Man didn't get anything. Somebody said there was Jag. You said there was a Spider-Man nerf or something. But man, actually, dude, it is weird that Spider-Man didn't get anything. He feels so high skill. Maybe I put my foot in my mouth and I was like, oh, they're going to be not really buffing weaker characters, but then they just left Spider-Man kind of in the dumpster. The slam tech, okay. Got it, okay. They fixed his cancel. Do you guys remember when there was some conversations about Marvel Rivals just leaves the fun in. They don't patch the goofy, crazy nonsense, the animation cancels. They let you do what you want because it's fun and it's silly, and if you're good enough to do it, and tee tee. Bro, Spider-Man's hard, man. I more power to anybody that plays Spider-Man. He's one of those characters that, I'm not saying he's the hardest character of all time, but he's tricky. It's a choice, Scarlet Witch Magneto. Father-daughter team up. Oh, that's true. I didn't actually know that. Increases metallic fusion projectile damage. I don't know what that is. I know he has the slashy, dashy, clashy thing. Is this something that he gives her? Oh, it is the slashy sword thing. No. It's the splash. Okay. Isn't that already strong? Or did they nerf it hard from beta? I haven't seen it very much since beta, but I played Magneto in beta and was just destroying people. But obviously, the combo's not very common. Okay, it was nerfed. Okay, so it was hard nerfed, and now they're kind of bringing it back a little bit. Okay, makes sense. Do you think bans are going to be the same as their potential for newer bans? I'm not smart enough to know, to be honest with you guys. I'm not really smart enough to know. I would say probably mostly the same bans, though. Because if you think about why a lot of these characters were banned, it's the nature of how fun they are to play versus. And Hela still has, like, her ultimate's still obnoxious, right? And she still is really potent. We might see a little bit less Hela. We probably still see similar amount of Hawkeye because, you know, one tap. You might see more Namor creep in there, depending on how things go. You'll probably still see Luna. You probably still see Mantis, situationally. There's probably some small adjustments, but I don't think we see any major surprises, to be honest with you. Also worth noting here, that Iron Man team up didn't get nerfed. Am I crazy? So we probably continue to see Hulk nerfed or banned. Wolverine banned more, potentially, yeah. All right, last one here. Thor, Storm, Captain America will be enhancing the damage capability of Storm's side up from the team ability. Reduce the cooldown. Nice. Increase the damage. Nice. I mean, I felt like it was pretty useful, pretty powerful already. But it wasn't like, I didn't feel game breaking. I've only done it twice, so my sample size is like infinitesimal. But I'm always for lower cooldowns, guys. You know me. Yeah. So I don't see any major meta shakeups here. I think that they definitely drug the bottom performers up. I think Storm is a big one here for sure. That's the one to keep an eye on. I think keep a careful eye on Winter Soldier as well, because a lot of his competition got nerfed too. Wolverine will have to kind of wait and see. Namor, keep an eye on Namor. Keep an eye on Hela in terms of how much more or less we will see. Maybe some Captain America. I think Captain America definitely got some significant buffs too. But nothing crazy. Nothing super crazy. I think Storm is probably the most biggest change to what we're going to see. And I think Cloak and Dagger got some big buffs too. Yeah, so we'll see. Honestly, I do this with Overwatch. Form your own opinions. I think avoid overreacting to the execution. I'm always overreacting to the spirit of many of the changes, like the intention behind those changes. But in terms of the actual execution of this patch, it's not the end of the world. It's Marvel Rivals. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be silly. It's just gonna be the same old Marvel Rivals. But I would give this one a D. I'd give this one a D. C minus, yeah, C minus maybe, because there were a couple of okay things, like, you know, Captain America's like, I think it's fine, and Winter Soldier showed at least a little bit of a clarity of vision, which I can appreciate, and you know, little things like having a height on Jeff's ult, and there's a couple of little tweaks that make sense, and there's a couple of inoffensive things too. But I give this one a C minus. I think this one is an actively, I really think it's an actively negative. That's not an actively negative because you're nerfing the worst aspects of like the worst defenders, but it makes significantly. I mean, we talk progress. I don't know what progress means in a patch, but I don't like it. There's basically the majority of things that we went through, I wasn't a huge fan of. Captain America's fine. Doctor Strange is whatever. It's a slap in the wrist. Thor, I mean, there's just a lot of nothings. How many things in this patch remove fun and wacky? I mean, not a lot. I think the Spider-Man patch fix that you guys are talking about, I mean, there's nothing. Spider-Man gets nothing. Black Panther gets a nerf. I'm glad I think the Storm changes will be very interesting. Maybe they're little, I mean, I don't know. Storm is horrible, so. But I mean, I think my biggest problem is they looked at the support cast and they're like, you know what the support cast needs? A lot more healing. More healing. Like more healing here, more healing there, more healing here. This is whatever. And more healing here. And the thing is there's like a lot of these heroes are like begging for other things too. It's not even like some of them are like, Jeff, I'll cut a little bit more slack because I still feel like a bigger speed boost on his bubble would be a lot more fun to play around than more single targets insane. But Rocket Raccoon, really? That's what you thought the guy needs? The guy that basically does nothing but heal bot? Like, really? That's the best you could do? That's crazy. Mantis? You're going to nerf her movement speed? movement speed. Her passive. Wait, doesn't her passive kick off when she gets shot too? Let me check. Or am I crazy? I think I'm crazy. I'm probably crazy. I know I'm crazy. Yeah, so we're talking about what makes Mantis OP in duels. I don't even know that it's nature's passive, because when she gets shot, she loses the movement speed. Or full health. So what the frick? This doesn't even help her that much in duels at all. Are you joking? Because that was what I was thinking, like, oh, maybe it's the movement speed when you're... No! What? So, I don't think it doesn't matter. Like, I don't want to... Like, you guys are going to feel so little this, but from purist, man, it just ticks me off, dude. And here's the thing, guys. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. This is what I was talking about when people were like, the best thing since sliced bread. You know what I'm saying? This game is great. It's a lot of fun. It's really exciting. They've done so many things right. Big shout out to the developers. And I know it's not easy to do these things, but this is the first. This is it. You know, here we go. Right? Here we go. This isn't even like, oh, they're compromising this competitive strategic integrity. They're just removing fun. They're just removing fun. They're buffing sustain and removing fun. Not entirely, of course, marginally, but I mean, that's the spirit, right? And here we go again. So, yeah, C-.